Hello and welcome to a push day and shoulder routine for the Bowflex Revolution. My name is Eric and there is a free PDF linked in the description where you can write down your weight settings, the number of reps you did as you follow along with this routine. And then when you come back to it next time, you'll know what you did before and you can work on raising those numbers up, and that's how you're gonna get stronger. So print that out, follow along here, and I'm gonna be targeting 10 reps per set as I go through this routine. You can target 6, 8, 10, 12, wherever you wanna be at. Now, we might have a different number of reps in mind, but the clock is gonna be counting things down so we all have the same rest intervals of about a minute between every single set. That's a little bit longer than something like a HIIT style workout, a little bit less than the way some people like to do hypertrophy style routines where they take 2 or 3 minutes. We got to keep things moving. This is a follow along workout, and so hopefully we can keep it exciting and keep it all fresh here. So for our extra gear you're going to need today, we're just going to need this extra seat plate here. Basically this clips in here, kind of makes like a chair. We're going to be using this for like a chest fly, but we won't be starting out with that. We're going to be starting out with our bench in this angled position and the arms in the number 8 position. I've also got the handles hooked up in kind of the shorter position, and you can adjust that to a longer position if you kind of feel a little bit of strain at the beginning of the exercise. I personally really like getting that extra stretch. So we're going to be adjusting our weight a couple times throughout this routine, and that's what we can do during that minute rest. And other than that, you're going to want to just stay loose. So we're going to have a little 4-minute warm up, and we're going to get a stretch going on that, and then we're going to get into the workout. So I hope you join me for it. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you right back. All right, let's go. Start things out with a little jog in place. Alternatively, you could do some jumping jacks or maybe some alternating high knees, whatever you want to do to get the body warm, and we'll get our stretch going. So if you're watching these videos as they're coming out on the YouTube channel, you may have noticed I haven't put out a leg day machine or a leg day video for this machine. And that's simply because I'm recovering from an Achilles injury right now. I'm good to do a little slow jog in place here, but I haven't been, able to lift a whole lot on this machine doing leg routines. So at some point though, I will revisit that and put those routines out on the channel. So don't worry about that. But let's talk about today's lifts while we're doing this. First up, we're going to be doing some chest press from this angled bench position. After that, then same position, grip is going to be a little different. We're going to go more vertical with an incline press. From there, we're going to take this seat off the back, kind of use this other attachment, almost make like a chair to do a shoulder press. And after that, we're going into a chest fly. And then finally, we're going to finish things off with a dual tricep extension. All right, so we're going to be winding this jog down here, going to some saucers. For these, let's get into that now. Pretend your nose is the center of a spiral and slowly trace that spiral out wide. Make big full circles about now in one direction. And now let's change direction and slowly bring that spiral in. Okay, nice. Let's go to some arm swings, and we'll do some pulls in a moment here. So swing your arms here, loosen up your chest. And now let's either pull our arm across our body or above our head to stretch out our triceps. And we're gonna hold for 3, 2, and 1. A couple swings and another pull here. 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna hit both sides one more time. Let's pull. 3, 2, and 1. And pull. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, hands together in front of ourselves. Pop those elbows out, and we're gonna do some torso twists here. Loosen up our core, our back, and just spin side to side here for a moment. And then we're going to move into some YTWs up next. So for Ys, reach up nice and high as you can go. Then bring those hands together and tap them out wide into a T together. And then make a nice W here. Get a good squeeze in your back and together. Now we're just going to be repeating this here for a total of 40 seconds. Really loosen up our upper body with this stretch. This is kind of my go-to for getting ready to do any sort of chest work and maybe some back or shoulder work. So really, focus on stretching all the way out with these motions here. And when you're in this W, get a nice squeeze. Okay, we're gonna go a Y, and we just got time for a T here. And then this last 20 seconds, this is yours to do whatever you need to do. I might do some finger pulls, loosen up my grip here. And then once this clock hits 0, we're gonna start racking up our resistance and talk about, starting this routine out. Now, I'm gonna be racking up just 40 pounds to start things out, and then I'll be adding to it from there. All right, so I'm gonna be adding resistance a little bit as I go. I like using this first set kind of as a continuation of my warm-up. So I think I'm actually gonna be targeting 12 reps on this first set, and I'm gonna be dropping it down to 10 reps from there on out. So kind of lighter weight setting, continue that warm-up here, and let's make sure our form is dialed in for this first set as well. Well, for this whole routine, let's get locked in though. So bench angle position, and I've got my arms at the number 8. From here, you can either have the handles in the short position, or you could have them extended out a little bit longer if starting the rep causes any sort of pain in your shoulders. I like getting this extra stretch here though. And then for our chest press, we're just gonna have this weight starting at our chest here. Exhale and drive this weight out and away from us. So we are gonna be starting that though when this timer hits 0. And then we'll have the opportunity to adjust that weight setting during that recovery period. So 5 seconds left. Let's go ahead and get in position here. And I want you counting along with these. Take nice slow reps, slow eccentric contraction. That's 1. 2, 3. Really focus on that nice smooth technique here. That's 4. 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay. So let's make sure we're writing down our weight setting and our resistance as we go through this routine. And I'm gonna now go ahead and add a bit more weight on. So I'm going from 40 up to 50, and that's probably where I'm gonna do the majority of this routine at, or of this particular exercise at, is gonna be here at 50. I might bump it up a little bit for the last set. We're gonna see how this goes. Now, one really nice thing about writing down all that resistance is next time you do this routine, you're gonna know, what are challenging weights for you, and you can rack up the right amount to make the most of your time. Okay, let's start getting in that position again. Hands on the handles. Let's bring it up to the starting position. And now let's exhale as we drive that weight out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, keep writing it down. I think I'm gonna keep it right at 50 pounds. I barely got that last rep in, and it's a good spot to be at right now. If you're finding that you're not doing a resistance that you're quite satisfied with, it's okay. Enjoy the process of getting stronger, and keeping all that data is really going to help you see your progress. That's another reason to keep it, keep those records up, is to see that improvement as you know, you're working out. And so hopefully you're feeling good, feeling stronger, but also seeing it on paper too. Okay, hands in position here. Okay, let's drive that weight away. That's one. Back firmly up against the seat there. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yes, all right, we have a little bit longer rest interval on this one. We got one more set of chest press coming up. And when I get to the 4th set, I feel like I need a little bit more recovery time, and so I program that in for us. Now I'm gonna keep my weight here right at 50 pounds. I know if I bump the weight up a little bit, I would not be able to get all 10 in. I'm hoping to get all 10 in here with this current resistance. And you know, if on that last set, if you came up a little bit short, you could drop the weight down, or you can leave it where it's at. Now, if I only got like 3 or 4 reps in, I'd be dropping it. But if I got 7 or 8, I'd probably keep it where it's at. And just be honest with yourself as you, you know, record all this workout. Okay, 10 seconds. Let's get in position. Final set of our chest press here. Let's extend it out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, 9 reps for me. And now I'm gonna be dropping my weight going into that incline press. So I'm gonna go from 50 pounds down to 40, so about a 20% reduction here. And as I remove this weight, what I like doing here is I like kind of leaving the weight on the bar here. And if I want to add resistance, I can just twist it back in real quick and you know, go right back up to 50. That said, I don't expect to go up to 50 here because we're gonna do this incline press and then we're gonna be dropping the weight before we go in the shoulder press. But we got 3 sets of this. Now when we do this incline press, instead of pressing straight out, we want to go a little bit more vertical. You don't need to go straight up, but try to end up, I don't know, whatever angle this would be here. And to do that, also instead of having the handles underneath my hands here, I'm gonna have the handles kind of above my arm. So let's start getting into that position now. And we're gonna be pressing up and slowly lower. And that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Stay in control. 6, 7, 8. 2 more. 9. And 10. All right, let's record that weight setting. You got 1:15 here. So incline press is going to be, the last exercise that's really going to be a direct hit on our chest. And from there, we got some shoulder work. And whoa, hold on. Let me take that back. We're going to be doing some chest fly later. So we got incline press after the shoulder press, though. Okay, 15 seconds. Let's get back on the bench. Hands on those handles. Let's bring it up to our shoulders here. And now let's extend it out. Up nice and high, slow retraction. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dig deep here. 9 and 10. Okay, one more set of the incline press and then we go to shoulder press. So as soon as we finish this next set, I'm gonna start dropping my weight here. So again, I've got 40 racked up. I'm gonna be dropping down to 30. It's about a 25% reduction after this. We're also gonna be moving the seat around and I'll show you that part when we get there. But let's take a little time here to recover before we get into this next one. Now in that warm-up I mentioned, I haven't recorded any leg day routines for this. I actually consider myself more of like an endurance athlete than a weightlifter. And so, I mentioned on the channel a lot of times that I'm not gonna be the biggest guy showing you how to do this stuff. But hopefully you're finding this useful. But I'm definitely more an endurance guy. I like doing kind of triathlons, and I actually ran a marathon not too long ago. Let's get in position here. That's extended out. And 2, I want you counting along with me too. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm doing 12 here. 11 and 12. Okay, so we're dropping the weight here. Again, I'm going from 40 pounds racked up on each side down to 30. And this is what I'm going to keep the resistance at for the rest of this routine. Okay, so 30 on each side here. And for our bench here, I'm going to remove this back bench here, and we're going to hook up this other bench here like this, and we're going to put it backwards. So we're going to be facing away from the machine. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this pin and I'm going to slide this all the way up to against the machine, and then I'm going to slide it up after I pull out so it locks in place. My pulleys are going to stay at the number 8 position. And last thing is I'm going to take these handles and I'm going to extend them so they're in the longer position. So I've got the longer handle hook up here. Now pause the video and rewind if you need to. I'm I'm gonna try to stay on time here though. So for this lift, I'm gonna be pressing up against this backrest, nice seated position. Bring these handles up to my shoulders, and then my exhale as I lift up, and then I lower that weight slowly. So that's 2. And this is just like our pressing motions. Exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Now I said I'm going to keep it all at 30. I need to drop that thing down to 25. I barely got that last rep in. So let me get these 5s on. Okay. Gonna focus on having some nice smooth technique. I was kind of falling here in the back and was not liking how that was feeling. So, form above all else in this stuff. Okay, 5 seconds. Hands at our shoulders here, starting position. Exhale as you press this weight straight up and then slowly lower it down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh. Okay, one more set of shoulder press. After the set, we're going to have, I think it's another minute and 30 seconds of rest, where we're going to make just a couple small adjustments to set up for that chest fly. And I might be leaving the weight setting the same. Or at least that's the plan. I might bring it up a little bit. We'll see. This is going to be our last set, hitting our shoulders and kind of our last pressing motion. All right, let's keep our back straight on this lift here. Exhale as you're pressing up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So we have a quick adjustment to make here. I'm going to pull the seat lever up here, and I'm going to bring my seat up just a little bit further. And we're going to see why that is in just a second. I'm also going to bring my arms here up to the number 4 position. And I'm going to switch things back to the shorter handle position here. And this is going to be setting us up for our chest fly. Now, the reason we brought the seat up just a little bit is this is going to give us a little bit more of a stretch from our starting position. So I'd definitely be shortening up the handles here And when I'm sitting up nice and tall like this, there's, right as I have tension, I'm getting that full stretch here in my chest. And what I want to do is I want to have just this really small bend in my elbows here. And then I'm going to be bringing these handles out in front of me here. And the handles don't actually have to touch. And then we're going to have a slow retract there. Okay, a couple seconds. And let's start this thing. So bring it in and slowly retract. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, went a little faster than intended there. So I'm gonna try to slow it down on the next set. And you know, we're in the home stretch here. We got 2 more sets of chest fly, and we got some tricep extension, and then we get to call it a day here. Okay, we got 10 seconds. Let's start getting in position here. All right, we're slowing it down a little bit this time. Nice slow retraction. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's write it down. Now, I was mentioning earlier, you know, I don't consider myself a lifter first. I consider myself more of an endurance athlete, and you know, this Achilles injury I've been having has been kind of a chronic injury for me. I'm trying to work through it, and it's really bought me the time to record all these routines. But you know, it's always nice to know why you're lifting, and for me, the reason I got into lifting is just overall health and wellness, and of course you want to look good, but you know, stay mobile, and you know, the stronger you are, the better you're going to move, and that translates to a lot of things. It definitely translates to running and keeping you healthy. Unfortunately, this Achilles injury has been kind of an overuse thing. Okay, let's get in position here. Let's extend it, bring it together, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so from here we are going to move the seat all the way to the front position. Kind of want to just out of the way, and you can even remove the back of this as well. And we're going to bring our pulleys up to the number 1 position. And you have the option to keep the weight the same, or you know, maybe add or subtract just a little bit here. And for tricep extension, I'm gonna be kind of looking actually between these two arms here. And I'm gonna kind of get up close to the machine. You know, my legs aren't up against this, but you know, I'm fairly close. And I'm gonna be kind of starting here with my arms bent. And then I'm gonna be extending these handles down to my sides. And you wanna basically have it so your arm, you know, gets a fully extended position here. And we're just gonna be, you know, repeating that 10 on each side. So you got 3 sets of these. I'm gonna keep my weight setting the same, I think. And we're starting here in just a few seconds. So in position, handle those handles and extend it down all the way and retract. That's 1, 2, 3. I like holding in that fully extended position for about a second. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, I'm going to try to slow it down a little bit. I don't think I was going way too fast on those. We just have a kind of a short range of motion on this particular exercise. So yeah, for me, though, this Achilles injury has been kind of just this chronic thing I've had for a long time. And when you're training for endurance sports, I was actually running about 50 miles a week for a long stretch, probably about 5 or 6 months in a row. And I don't know what happened one day. It just, I wasn't listening to my body that I need some recovery, because I was definitely feeling like I was pushing myself too hard. So, you know, if you're really just feeling exhausted and like you need to, like this is not sustainable, listen to your body and maybe, you know, take a few days off. And, you know, that process of deloading and giving yourself some time to recover is going to really keep it, let's extend it down. Keep things not just sustainable for you long term, but, you know, also so you don't, you know, get derailed on your fitness path. And that's 5. Because when you're injured, that is about the biggest setback you can have. You know, we've all had a bad workout or skipped a workout here and there. It's gonna be 9 and 10 for me. You know, if you skip a workout or you decide, hey, I'm just feeling it and I need, you know, maybe a week off and then I'm going to get right back on this, like that can keep you better on course than having an injury which sets you back for, it's probably going to be 8 weeks for me to fully recover from this thing. Or that's the hope. Okay, final set. Let's take this last set to failure. Okay, 20 seconds. Let's lock in. Okay, we got about 5 seconds, so let's get our hands on those handles in position and extend it down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. All right, awesome job on finishing this routine out. I want to also give a big thank you to all the supporters of the channel over on Patreon. And just a reminder, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more routines on this machine. Make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you're good to yourself and good to others. And thank you for watching.